Hello to my Taurus. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get right into it. Let's see what's in your cards. All right, Taurus. Okay, the moon has moved into Libra. We got about 4 planets that are currently retrograde. We got Mercury that's about to go retrograde. Excuse me. The moon has moved into Leo. For those of you all who like the moon phases, so if you like the moon phases, let me give you some questions. Make sure you're landing on the light side of the moon and allowing your vulnerability to be your strength. Going where you are appreciated and not where you are simply tolerated. So here's some questions for those of you all who like questions, right? Who like the moon phase questions. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Here are some questions for you. And you'll hear these same questions if you watch some of the other videos. First question is, do you connect to your core, your center daily? So do you connect to your core, comma, your center daily? Second question is, how do you express your creative side? Third question is your current wardrobe really expressing who you are? Fourth question is, do you protect your energy and time by politely saying no to requests and invitations that are not aligned to your being? And then last but not least is, could you create more time and space for self-exploration and self-expression? Let's get into it. Let's see what's in your cards. All right, let's see what's in your cards. All right, let's go. Justice. All right, so something is grossly out of alignment here, but everything is fine. Something is out of alignment. Somebody could still be out, like you're indecisive about something, about 2 situations. You're still indecisive about 2 situations. Possibly a Libra and a Capricorn, right? And you're trying to see something from a higher frequency. Source is saying, but everything is fine. And trying to see something from a higher frequency. Yeah. You and Libra actually share Venus, the planet of love, pleasure, art, music, and aesthetics. But Venus actually rules both of you all differently. And that's maybe something you want to look up. You want to look up how Venus rules your zodiac sign versus how it rules Libra's. You want to look at something. You want to pay attention to that. So that could help you with something, right? To balance some things out. You also want to look at, because you want to see, these are the same cards, but there's an imbalance here as it relates to a Capricorn. See how these are the same cards, but there's a balance here, there's an imbalance here. You want to pay attention to that. The source is saying you're going to get out of something just as what you put into something. You're going to get out of something what you put into something. Somebody is depressed behind closed doors. Somebody is putting on a happy face out in public, but behind closed doors, they are not happy. Six of Cups. Somebody is holding on to some resentment. And there's some resentment they've been holding on to for a long time. Some emotions around money and around relationships. And it's volcanic. Somebody's been holding on to something. And so source is saying you may want to go back, like it could be you holding on to something from, like, is you actually holding on, somebody's holding on to something from their childhood. The source is saying you can go back to like a happier time in your childhood, like nostalgic memories. Of just whatever the happier time is. Somebody you can look up to in your happier childhood, like between the ages of 8 years old and 14. I don't know if somebody, like your first crush, or like if you played an instrument during that time, because we're talking about water, sacral chakra. We're talking about like the time of creativity, first crush, you know, like did somebody get their first bike, first best friend, but also then remember, you know, when that first bad emotion hit, like, and were there people around you where you know, that poured into you, like did something happen, trigger warning, like, you know, was somebody rejected, because that's also a time too that people that can throw somebody out of balance, because that's where the connection is going to be. That is where the connection is going to be, to help somebody get back in alignment. So that's what you have in common with somebody. Pluto being in Aquarius right now, it went into Aquarius on the 19th of November, and it'll be in Aquarius until March 2043, is what's going to help you align everything with why people have this like resentment and feel like they're being talked about behind their back. It's something that connects you with these two energies, and something connecting with between those ages, those stages of life, between the ages of 8 years old and 14, somebody feeling rejected in those years of being talked about behind their back, and something threw somebody out of alignment. So did somebody feel like they were being talked about because they were feeling rejected? Somebody felt like they weren't spending enough time with somebody, like, you know, around. Did somebody feel like somebody didn't spend enough time with somebody? Because something is throwing something out of alignment, and that's what all of these people have in common. And somebody's holding on to something. Right, here's a Temperance card. That will bring everything back into harmony. That's what you and somebody have in common. That will bring everything back into harmony. Yeah, that's what you and somebody have in common. That will lighten everything. So you don't even have to go on a quest for that. The answer is right there. That will free you right there. So if it's a father and a son, that's exactly what the father and son have in common. If it's a mother and a daughter, that's exactly what the mother and daughter have in common. It's that both of y'all have been talked about behind your backs between those ages of 0 and 7. That's where somebody's emotions were manipulated, where basically somebody were like, basically it was like basically that's where things got thrown out of alignment between those ages. People smiling in your face and talking about you behind your backs. But that's what sent you on some kind of a journey in search for love, like looking for love between those ages, in that space between those ages, right there, looking for love in those places. Like on this person right here is on a journey. See, they got a backpack on. They looking for something to feel better, to soothe this pain of being talked about behind their back. That's what, looking for something, That's what y'all have in common. Blindsided. 2 of Wands. The bait and switch. That's what you and somebody have in common. So Source is saying it's time to take notes of some things. Time to take notes. Time to talk. Time to have an open discussion about something. Time for somebody to have an open discussion about something. Because there's a high priestess that's already aware of something. There's a high priestess that already knows everything. Someone who is intuitive, who already knows, has already seen something from a higher frequency, who is very, very sensitive and very compassionate towards situations. Four of Cups here. And it's where somebody maybe like kind of sort of depressed or feels like their back is against the wall, you know, over something, right? That's something that's very sacred, you know. That it doesn't have to be very toxic, but so, which could speak to the come save me from something. So somebody has love trying to come in. Love is trying to come in. Your wishes will be fulfilled. That's what a source is trying to tell us. Like, wishes will be fulfilled. Somebody has love. Either you already have love coming in, or somebody has love coming in. But source is trying to balance some things out for somebody. But something has to go all the way back to the beginning to see where something was thrown out of alignment. So that's what it was. It's like between the ages of 8 years old and 14, where there was a resentment. Like why can't somebody see something of like somebody's looking for somebody to save somebody from just kind of sort of feeling like, see how this person right here is looking at somebody like they got all this conversation, people hugging and talking, and everybody got their head in the clouds. People can't see what's going on. Like everybody just kind of like. People can't see what's going on. Everybody just distracted. And somebody looking for somebody to save them. Here we have the Six of Swords. And so here we go again. Somebody else is moving on from something. And the same thing. Same thing. Somebody is still taking notes. People just moving on with their lives. So again, source is saying, and it just threw something out of balance again, right? You know, moving on from shady people. So source is saying, you know, and somebody's looking for somebody to save them again. So source is saying you have the whole world in front of you, right? But your motivation is changing. Somebody's motivation is changing, right? So we had the 5, 7, 6. Somebody is back in the saddle again. You are back in the saddle again, but we're starting out with an imbalance here. Again, there's an imbalance with somebody. You could have Capricorn somewhere in your birth chart, but source is saying you're going to get out of something which you put into it in order to balance things out, right? So this is not something you need to overthink. Somebody is looking for somebody's looking for you to save them, or you're looking for somebody to save you. And it's not going to be saved in a new relationship, like in terms of love. You have to learn how to save yourself from something by being in a posture of gratitude that, okay, I figured it out now. I figured it out. Somebody figures something out by seeing it at a higher frequency now. Right, here's the Empress card. Right, so source is trying to give somebody some time to figure some things out. You're going to feel very lucky to have figured some things out. It's time to put the past behind you. Time to put the past behind you. So 3, past disappointments behind you and raise the frequency. 9, 8. Yeah, move on from past disappointments. And again, there's the number 6 of Pentacles. Again, is you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So what I look like at the cards here, Taurus, is that source has moved out of the way. Like your prayers have been answered. You wanted something moved out of the way in order for you to have a relationship. That's what you wanted, something moved out of the way. It's that situation that you wanted moved out of the way is out of the way. Your prayers have been answered. You wanted something. So you wanted somebody or something moved out of the way. That situation is out of the way. Prayers have been answered. And so now source is saying it's time for you to do the work. It's time for you to do the work. Time for you to do the work. There it is. Time for you. You see me shuffling the cards. Time for you to do the work. Time for you to do the work. You want something out of the way? Prayers answered. Do the work. Everybody is being obedient to source. So time to do the work. So that's what source is saying. It's saying, so you are high priest, right? So you wanted something out of the way. You wanted justice in your favor. Source gave you justice in your favor. So source is saying you wanted something, but something is still out of balance here. Something is still out of balance, right? So you have to bring it into balance. You have to bring it into balance. So what's going to bring it into balance is not another person. You have to bring yourself into balance, is what source is saying to you. So that's where you're taking the blindfolds off, because there is a younger person who is trying to take notes. There's a younger person who is watching you, trying to take notes. So get focused. Yeah, get focused. Yeah, things are starting to flow to you like water. That's divine feminine energy. It's not coming from another person. It's coming from you. It has to come from you. You have to get into your divine feminine energy. So you have the gift of clairsentience. You pick up on others' vibrations, their emotions, their moods, their feelings. That's what you wanted. That's here we go. So new love awaits for somebody. It's time for you to open your vault door. That's where the 6 and the Knight of Pentacles. So source saying it's time to get to work. So you're going to get out of something what you put into it. It's time for you to get inside your vault door. So that means you have to know your worth and know your value. And your mental health is just as important as your physical health, right? So, yeah. Step through your portal. That is your vault door. Step through your portal. That's your vault door. And so it's time to release some kind of a burden from between the ages of 8 years old and 14. Somebody has been holding on to something from that age, and somebody knows what it is. So here's a baby here. So whoever you may have procreated with, you're a man or woman, whoever you procreated with, they already know what it is. So, like I said, but the Knight of Cups, it gives the illusion that there's a person that can save somebody, but we don't have the power to save another human being. So we don't have the power to do that. But so somebody knows what it is. And so they stepped out of the way. They moved out of the way so that you could. So the answers you seek are coming. It's time for somebody, if you're not with your person already, but it's time for somebody to start dating again. If you're not with your person, but your ancestors are proud of you for at least trying. The answers you seek are coming. You have a sea of opportunities in front of you. It's time to expand your brand. I see you being booked and busy. You have the gift of telepathy. I see you moving in silence and moving in peace. And at what age did your parents work on their shadow self? And at what age did you work on your shadow self? First red flag, pray and meditate. It's time to heal your wounded self. That would be your Chiron, Chiron. And you have the gift of deja vu. That's remembering the future. So, yeah, but it's something that you prayed for that, people stepped aside. Your prayers have been answered. So it's saying now it's time to step inside your vault. Know your own worth. Know your own value. Some people have moved on. They have moved on. You got somebody taking notes. You got a younger person that's taking notes. So it's just saying now it's time to put a manhole cover over the past. It's time to raise your frequency, get to the light side of the King of Cups, which means get away from a shark energy. and start the healing process. Time to wipe the slate clean. Start the healing process. Again, whoever these energies are, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So 666, that's what's going to balance it out. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. So sit on your throne, carefully vet your thoughts. And you're going to start seeing your money grow. You're going to start seeing your financial increase triple. Courage. Let me begin to openly, let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. You have a sea of opportunities that lie ahead for you. Connect with your ancestors. Connect with your ancestors. Yep. You have a lot of ancestors with you, around you. Connect with whatever it is you're passionate about. Be bold and make the first move. Pluto in Aquarius is going to help everybody to reconnect with forgiveness, connect with love, equanimity, more of humanitarian efforts, less with the long, because you've known somebody the longest, because they're blood relative, all that other stuff. So it's just going to break all of that up at the root chakra and get back to humanitarianism. So get grounded. Many of the most evolved beings on earth are regular folks living with joy, dignity, and courage. So, it's time to wipe the slate clean. "29. I am insightful. You are highly intuitive and creative. Your mind thinks in pictures, and you seem to draw information and ideas from out of the sky. A powerful drive to know the oneness of all things." 29. That's right. 2 and 9 is 11. Get off the fence. Stop overthinking things. Invest in yourself. Invest in your divine feminine side of yourself. See things from a higher frequency. Someone's going to feel very lucky that they did. Investing in your intuition. All right, that is what I have for you. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully those questions have helped you. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.